Hello, everyone, and welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We are very happy here with Wake Up Call and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media to make history at Alfred University. As for the first time, there will be interviews, sit-downs with the student athletes of the football team on Media Day. It's never happened in the history of the Saxons, and we get to break ground on that right here, right now. So we thank you for being here and hanging out with us for all of our specials here in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Alfred University. I'm here with Alex Rojek, offensive tackle, and I very much appreciate you being here, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. You have the height and the build to be an offensive lineman, and you also have the hair that gives you more of a height advantage. So bring me into the haircut. I want to know why you chose it. And what would you call it? Are you going to call it a mullet or are you going to call it something else?
I'd say it's a mullet. It's kind of merged into something else. It's kind of become like my own hairstyle, I guess.
Yeah, it's not so much a mullet because it's not in the back, it's on the sides. So it's become the Rojek.
Yeah,
I think we need to call it the Rojek.
I guess we could.
Yeah.
But so back when COVID lockdown first happened, I went to the barber shop. Like my cousin owns a barber shop, and I went there. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get a mullet. And my mom was not a big fan of it, but I grew out the mullet in lockdown, and it came to school, and I was just always the mullet guy. And I've gone through different iterations of it. This is the second time I've grown my hair out. But like last week, before camp, I'm like, it's a little long. I need to trim it down.
Okay.
And I think this is the appropriate length for it.
Yeah, I think this will fit under the helmet. You got it short on the sides, a little bit shorter, like soft on the top, and then you have it not just pulling you in the back here, but coming out to the side. I think we have to stamp it the Rojek.
Yeah,
I think it's officially your hairdo.
Yeah,
because it's got three different styles all happening in one. So the Rojek, you heard it here first. If you do your hair like this, you owe this man some NIL, some royalty money, something like that. Yeah, something like that. We need to have a little cash flow coming in for the Rojek if you're going to choose to wear this. So basically, I mean, if they take a picture of you and they go to their barber and go, do this. Yeah. That's the Rojek. So where are you coming from? Where are you hailing from?
I'm from Cheektowaga, New York.
Cheektowaga, New York. So how far is that from here?
It's about an hour and 40 minutes. It's like I live 2 minutes right outside the Buffalo City border. So.
Okay. So Cheektowaga, are you a Bills fan being from that area?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So if Cheektowaga had an NFL team, would you have been a fan of your home?
I mean,
let's say they made one right now and it's right there with the Bills. Do you stay a Bills fan or do you go a Cheektowaga?
I think I gotta stay a Bills fan.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Gotta stay a Bills fan.
Favorite Bill of all time?
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith.
Yeah.
I like it. Number 78.
Yeah.
Guy's got some work in. Favorite Bill right now?
Ooh. Probably Matt Milano.
Matt Milano. So cool story about Matt Milano. He played for Boston College, and I covered him in college. So I actually got to cover him when he was at BC through my coverage of the ACC over the last decade. And so when he went to the Buffalo Bills, I was like, oh, cool, I know that guy. And then when Levi Wallace went there, he's the first player I ever interviewed from the Alabama Crimson Tide. And then at Oliver, I cover Houston. And so him coming from Houston. So it was cool to see all of that. And now your running back, James Cook, I interviewed en route to them winning a national championship at Georgia. So Cook is also a guy. So I got connections there. And one of my buddies from Syracuse, Kingsley Jonathan, on the D line. So there's a bunch of Bills that I know.
Yeah, I wish I knew that.
So if you could go right now and spend a day with the Buffalo Bills, what three Bills would you hang out with? If Matt Milano, let's say he's already on the list, so pick three other ones.
Probably like Deion Dawkins, Spencer Brown, Mitch Morse, just the O-line guys. Like, they're professionals, I want to see what the professionals do to better my craft. And maybe Josh in there,
Okay.
He just seems like a great guy to be around.
Mr. Allen, yes. So offensive tackle. When did you start playing O-line?
My sophomore year of high school.
Sophomore year, okay. were you kind of pushed in that direction, or did you kind of say to yourself, hey, this could work for me?
I was a tight end before that, and I was always pretty good at blocking. So, and then my coach just moved me to tackle one day at practice, and I was killing it at practice. So that's just kind of been my spot, and I love playing O-line. I get to force people to move into places they don't want to be. You don't get to do that in much other sports. Or
if you had a choice, would you rather be on the D line trying to get through the people that are trying to move you to a space you don't want to be? Would you rather stay on the O line moving people to where they don't want to be? If you had a decision right now.
Right now, I think I'd stick with the O-line, but if you asked me like 2-3 years ago, D-line probably would have been it.
Okay, why? Why would you have picked D-line then?
I mean, D-line's just fun. You just get to go out there, cause havoc, get a couple sacks, a couple TFLs.
Yeah.
So
do you like offensive tackle? Is on the entire offensive line? Is that a position that you feel like being one of the bookends is the right place for you?
I mean, I'd say so, yeah. I mean, I know that every snap I have to do everything to the best of my ability, 100%.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing that.
Mentally, how have you gotten better at your craft? Because when you're on the offensive line, there are so many things that you have to check, see, be prepared for, and be able to kind of go through different pieces of your technique when you need to use them. So as soon as that ball is hiked in a split second, you have to be able to shift to whatever you need. How has the mental game evolved for you?
Just watching film, like I watch so much film, a lot more now than I ever did in high school. And watching film, just like memorizing playbooks and stuff, like just building that muscle memory. So I'm not thinking about it, I'm just reacting.
Yeah.
Like having it become like just secondhand, like just my body just does it, takes the mental part out. I just have to remember the play, and then muscle memory kicks in.
So this watching film that creates the muscle memory, how often would you say you watch film? Like, I know you have your film study with the team, but are you away from everybody, just turning it on and watching it?
Yeah, I do that for about like 45 minutes to an hour a day. Like I'll just sit there and watch film on my own. If one of my roommates is watching film at the same time, we'll go in there, we'll break it down together and stuff.
So right tackle, left tackle, typically left tackle is the blind side. You like the blind side, you like the other side?
I've always played left side.
Yeah.
And
because some guys say that the change is easy, but other guys say they got to stand in a mirror and just constantly practice just that footwork, because you're shifting your body and it like you're doing similar mechanics, but
it's backwards.
The opposite. Yeah, it's backwards.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of switching. I mean, I can do it, but preferably I just stay on the left side. So.
Why do you like the blind side? Because arguably it is one of the most important portions of any team, offense, defense, and special teams. It is literally like the best friend of the quarterback. So why do you like that pressure?
It just forces me to give my all on every play. Like I played guard my sophomore year here, and I still had a lot of pressure to perform, but like if I don't do my job on every play, quarterback or the running back might get killed, and I don't want to be responsible for that. So it forces me to give my all. And
I like it. Yeah. I like it. I can appreciate it. Before we get into rapid fire, why did you choose Alfred?
It wasn't too far away from home, but it was far enough away from home. I don't have to see my parents all the time,
Okay.
But I love my parents, but sometimes they're alone. But also, I got to play football and continue my education, which is one of the best parts of being a collegiate student athlete. So,
would you choose Alfred again if you had the choice?
I think I would. I think I would.
Why?
Just, you know, not, it's the people, like the people I've met, like my professors, my friends, like my professors, like I go into class and I'm never bored because they're always telling us about some story about when they were working in the industry and stuff. And like a bunch of like life experience and a lot of valuable lessons to be learned.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned from a professor here at Alfred? One that just sticks with you.
That is a tough one.
Pick anything.
Just yeah, but I think about it off the top of my head right now.
Is there like a motif or a theme of maybe some things that you've been taught either about mental health or about the world or how to take care of yourself? Is there something in that respect that sticks out?
Yeah, I'm a marketing major.
Okay.
So one of the biggest things in my classes is do your research.
Mhm.
Because there have been so many examples of like businesses going into places like going overseas and stuff, and they didn't do any research and the business failed there.
Yeah.
So if you do your research, you can go into any situation and you should be pretty good. So
do your research with anything,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Be ready. So with that being said, speaking of being ready, we're about to play rapid fire. Anything in the world, no pre-plan, hanging out here with Alex. And I am so excited that we finally have a name for your hair. So I think it's a beautiful thing now that we could do that. So let's start it off. You get to start things off. You get to ask me the first question. What question are you going to ask me?
favorite NFL team.
Favorite NFL team? Jacksonville Jaguars. Been a fan since they started in 95. So I've always been a fan. All right. Well, like I said, we get to have the Rojek now. So you're a marketing person,
Yes.
marketing major. If you had an opportunity to do an NIL deal, would you bring the Rojek to a barbershop and do a commercial for them about that? And then the second part is, will you at least consider once you graduate and are fully a professional giving me 5% since I helped you come up with the name?
I would love to do a commercial.
Okay. All right.
And I'll consider it.
Yeah,
I'll consider it. I'll consider it.
Okay. All right. What's your next question for me?
Well, travel anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Well, one of your teammates asked me, so I'm not going to pick the same place. I'm going to say Hawaii, and obviously praying for the people of Hawaii. I've had the opportunity to be around Kenya Matsalolo, who spent a lot of time with the Navy midshipmen. Obviously, Marcus Mariota comes from there, and Austin Cowhey, who's currently on the offensive line at Syracuse, and Kalen Ellis they're both from Hawaii. So I think it's important to really just give you all a shout out and spread our love and our positivity. I would love to come visit because I love the thought of retiring on an island maybe someday. So I would say that. Yeah, I would say that. All right, I'm going to throw it back at you, Alex. Where would you go? How about this? If you could retire anywhere in the world, where would you go to live the rest of your life?
Some cabin in the middle of Montana.
All right. Yeah, I like that. Nobody's going to bother you.
No,
that'd be
that's
nice.
the best part about it.
Yeah, best part about it. That you have a chance of seeing a cow or an alien or both because you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully not aliens. So I seen what is it called? UFO Cowboys. Such a weird show. Have you seen that show?
No.
It's strange.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
What's your last question for you?
If you could be a professional in any sport, what would it be?
Well, I played basketball my whole life, so I'd be a point guard or a shooting guard. Or if I was playing football, I would want to play quarterback. Because I'm 5'8", I guess I'll play DB. If it was up to my mom, I'd be a kicker because she never wanted me to get hit. So, but yeah, I mean, I always like the thought of playing quarterback or being a running back because I'm the same height as Maurice Jones-Drew. And so I think like seeing other people my height do it and seeing some of these scrappy guys like the Darren Sproles and the Austin Eckler, I think that'd be kind of fun. And I always liked when I played pickup games, being the guy that could like get through anything and create my own kind of avenue. So yeah, so I would say that, and you could block for me.
I'd love to.
All right, let's do that. All right, Alex, my last question for you. I asked most of your teammates this, so we're going to go here. You have the opportunity to run for president. You have to pick one of your teammates to be your vice president. Who do you choose and why?
Gotta go with my man, Parker Evans.
Okay, why Parker? Who's been featured here?
You know, I've known him for 3 years now. He's been very, very, very dear friend of mine.
Okay.
And he's just a great guy. He can go up. He can convince me a lot of things.
Okay.
So I would assume he could convince the American public to vote for me.
All right, fair enough. He is a charismatic person,
Yes,
I'll say.
Yes,
okay.
he is.
So shout out to Parker. With that being said, Alex Rojek and the hair, the Rojek, available to you folks, but make sure you give credit where credit's due. Alex Rojek, offensive tackle here for the Alfred University Saxons football team, as we make history here with a media day unlike ever before at Alfred University, presented by Dan Tortora Broadcast Media and Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.